Let's do this shit.
Word.
Yo, what's happening? Back with another episode of the Specktators podcast. I'm your host, Packy, alongside Q the Bars,
Yo.
Dirty Dags,
God.
Moe-T.
Saw.
What is this, episode 68?
8.
Okay.
68.
Next week.
Big one next week.
Let's get it.
Gary hit me up and he wants to come on a podcast. I told him we were possibly
Come on, Moe-T.
Just tell him no.
well, first, yeah. And then I told him we were possibly doing an outdoor one soon. Maybe he could stop by on that one.
Word.
69 would be a good outdoor one.
Yeah, it would.
Mother Nature, give her the old flip-flop.
Need that good weather next week.
Hopefully Mo will be, I don't
That's
know.
what I'm saying. What's the latest, Mo?
Are you a pappy yet?
We're on baby. You know, the last week was baby watch. Now it's baby warning.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Funnel claws, touchdown.
Baby
Yeah.
alert.
Baby
Straight up.
alert.
Alert, alert.
Dags was waiting till the last minute to get here today, hoping that Mo would cancel the pod so he could go golf.
Yep.
So she was due June 1st.
Yeah.
Damn, what's the date today? It ain't June 1st.
Fifth.
God dang.
Yeah.
Did anyone because you guys were wagering on what the date would be, right?
Right.
Did anyone take
No.
anything this late?
I guess Friday.
If we're going by
So-
Prices Right rules, I win.
'Cause you guessed the latest
Closest
one.
without going over.
We're gonna have to do it again now.
But you
dude.
did
Oh,
go
no.
over, didn't you?
I said Monday.
Which has passed.
I know.
And there's
So
no date.
I'm the latest date.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I get what you're saying.
So
Yeah.
I win, no matter what. I fucking win.
It's back.
Give me the showcase showdown.
Any minute now, Moe-T could start becoming a dad here, but we'll see. We're still on baby warning, I guess.
May have to end the pod abruptly. If this shit cut off, you know what happened.
Gee. What else going on? Dag said he forgot to listen to the Denzel Curry album.
Yeah, pissed because you guys made it sound like it's right up my alley.
Yeah, it's fire.
It's tight.
You liked it, Q?
Mm-hmm. I listened to it on the way here because it was only 29 minutes and it was 12 tracks.
Dude, that's why perfect length album to
Telling
me.
you. And he had a couple skits in there, so it was really like 9 tracks.
Yeah, it was like let's see the 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, 3, 3.5, 3, 3.5, and then a bunch of twos to finish like 2.5s. I think that's the new wave, man.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I don't mind shorter songs, but you like those like minute 30-second songs. That's just too.
Since when?
That Schoolboy Q song was the first time we were talking about
What,
that.
Num
You were
Num
like,
Juice?
I like that new shit, that short shit. Isn't that like a minute 50? That
Yeah, you were
Num
saying
Num
that. in a
Num Num
previous-
Juice?
Minute 50's
It's
acceptable.
147.
It's acceptable.
Yeah,
That's
fucking
too short.
That's
dude.
as
too
short as you can go.
If there's
Really?
a hot ass song and it's a minute 47 seconds, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, because I got to spin
It
it
does
back.
seem
the right
short,
time.
dude.
That's
That
really
does-
2 minutes.
that is
like
short.
that's like a
Less than
that's
2
like a
minutes
verse
is
in a
insane.
fucking
That's
chorus.
insane.
Yeah.
But
But
2
dude-
minutes is like
Okay.
Very short.
Yeah.
No,
what'd you-
don't back.
I'm not. I'm doubling down.
No.
I'm doubling down. Did you like the intro track on Denzel Curry shit?
I thought it was the best fucking song.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a problem with it. I wasn't like
See?
it should be longer. It should be.
2 minutes is cool. 147.
It's just because you can't handle the one sitting.
Exactly.
Like, and
That's
that's
short,
fine.
bro.
That's fine.
It's
I know,
almost like
but it's
pumping
10
gas,
seconds
you know what I'm
shorter.
saying?
I know, but there has to
Like,
be
would
like
you
a
want it to
bottom
be longer?
eventually.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I'm
agree.
saying?
I agree.
I want it to be longer. but
Otherwise, it's like, well, a minute and a half's fine.
I know.
It gives you that like, oh, I want more type thing, but it's annoying to have to spin it back
It's all
over
about
and
the
over
song.
again.
Sometimes, yeah, I was just gonna say sometimes too, like the song feels incomplete
Right.
at a certain length.
Right.
Like I thought Num Num Juice seemed incomplete.
It
as
sounded
fuck.
like
I
there was
kinda-
one
Just like
more.
he
kinda-
got in the
I
booth
kinda
and was like,
agree.
all right, I'm done with this shit.
Yeah,
I could
for
see
sure.
that.
Whereas like it can be a complete song, and even if like you don't have a big intro or a big outro, like if it's just mainly the content, then 2 minutes could seem even longer than 2 minutes.
I kind of can't believe that the first track is only 2 minutes. Like it comes in with like the hook at the beginning.
Yeah.
He's got 2 verses, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it has a little quick like outro skit type thing just quickly.
Yeah.
So it packs all that into 2 minutes. I guess what more do you need?
You know what's crazy is I didn't realize it was 2 minutes until you said that. I thought
Yeah.
it was like 3. It was like a regular
That's
ass
what she
song.
said.
I hope not. No, it was tight though. I think my favorite joints is Zoo, Speedboat.
Those are
I
my
love
yeah,
that vibe.
Speedboat. I did hear Speedboat. That shit's tight.
Those
That's
are my
just
two
sweet.
favorites.
And then Carol Mart and Shake 88 has a place for it. Like we were just turning up, having a good time.
Yeah. I thought it was fire. Speedboat and Zoo definitely
Speedboat.
stand out.
I love that vibe on
Yeah.
Speedboat's crazy. And
Yeah.
his like dubs, ad-libs are fire.
I wasn't up on Denzel Curry really, but when we did our top 5 albums of last year, Joel put Taboo on there from
Taboo's
Denzel
fire.
Curry. Yeah, and it is. And so when this one dropped, when I think I just saw randomly that it dropped, and I was like, oh, I gotta go check that out. And like it was pretty short, so I just put it on in the car on a car ride, and I was like, this is fire.
Yeah.
I actually first came across Denzel Curry when we were out in LA, and you remember we did that show. God, I can't remember the venue. Somewhere in LA. I don't even remember what show it was, but remember De Niro Ferrar?
Yeah.
He was there, and he must have been on the same bill, and he had a big song out with Denzel Curry. And I'm pretty sure at the time, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure at the time, De Niro Ferrar was like bigger than Denzel Curry. I could be wrong there, but Denzel Curry wasn't that big. Fast forward, he's like pretty
Massive,
popping now.
yeah.
Yeah. And I don't even know what De Niro Ferrar is doing. Not that he was like popping then, but
Was he from out there?
I want to say like he was from the Carolinas.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
think he was.
So I wish I remembered what the situation was. But yeah, it's just funny thinking back on shit like that. Like,
That's crazy.
oh yeah, I got this big single with Denzel Curry. Oh, I don't know who that is, whatever. And then it's like, oh, this shit is
Yeah.
fire.
Denzel's really tight.
The track they had back then was fire too. It wasn't like he just came out of nowhere. I can't remember what it was.
I was
called,
late as
but-
hell to the Denzel party,
Yeah.
but that Bulls on Parade cover is amazing.
I
The Rage Against the Machine. Bulls on Parade.
Oh,
he did a
yeah.
cover for it, and it's
Yeah.
so dope.
That's the one thing about like even the new album. I like a lot of the shit. Some of the shit isn't for me. The
Yeah.
really like heavy. It's different. So I'm sure he's got a very like. I'm sure his shows are.
Oh my
ham.
god. Yeah, I've seen footage. It's like you're wear a helmet. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Be ready to
Yeah.
fight.
He's
in a good way.
unique. So I'm sure he's got that hardcore like cult following, which is
Yes.
always dope as an
For
artist.
sure.
Let's get to the real shits though.
Ooh.
The hottest fire that dropped.
She think I wanna kick it, but I want the real thing. All she want is bottles, she ain't got no feelings. If she wanna leave me,
Andre.
then she really tripping. I'ma take her to the top, she can get it.
Andre Drummond?
From the Pistons.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
I was
bro.
trying to figure out what you're saying because that didn't make any sense.
I know.
That's Andre Drummond?
That's Andre Drummond. He has a video too.
I literally just sat down here 5 minutes ago and was on Twitter, and this popped up with the caption that said, "This is horrifyingly bad."
It didn't sound that bad. At least it sounded a little bit quality. I just would never guess that he would be making shit like that.
I don't know.
Oh shit! I got us on fucking live.
Q couldn't get that shit out of his head.
I could have seen it. Somebody's like, "We want
Everybody's
rings,
doing
not
that
your
shit,
fucking."
dude.
And it all sounds the same as a problem.
Yeah, I'm not into that.
I'd have to hear more. I don't know.
That shit's trash.
That shit is trash.
You know, God, what's his name? The wide receiver from the Chargers.
Keenan Allen.
Allen?
He's a fucking like R&B artist.
R&B? Is he
Damn.
dope?
Is he like Victor Oladipo?
Victor's
Yeah,
dope.
he's
it's
fire.
Like, it's
Yeah.
like Victor-ish, you know, like
But he can
slow
sing?
R&B shit. I don't know. I guess it's like sounds pretty auto-tuney, but he's like singing. He's not just doing the
Getting
auto-tune
carried.
just for like the effect type of thing.
I'm definitely not against those like Victor Oladipo can do the damn thing.
For sure.
Dame Lillard can rap.
He's straight.
Yeah.
What you think about Zoe?
Who?
Lonzo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not my thing, but he can rap.
It's just his
Le'Veon
voice.
Bell's whack.
He doesn't like. Yeah. The
Nah.
Le'Veon
I was
is what
gonna bring
reminded
it-
me of Andre.
I was gonna bring up Le'Veon though, like I've only heard a couple songs. Not for me, but I can't necessarily say it's like awful. I could
It's just
I
like
could see there being a market for that.
he's changed. I've heard like, cause he's been making music for a while, and I always check it out just for no reason. But the first time and the most recent stuff he's put out, he's totally changed
Word?
it. Yeah.
Okay, I
It's
only heard a
weird
few when
because
he
it's
first started
like-
dropping.
It seems like he's just following whatever's hot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like right now it's like the
He has a video, right? For one of those?
Yeah.
I like that newer one.
Yeah.
That was the only one I've ever heard of. And I'm like, this is what
It's whatever.
exactly what you're saying. It's like, this is the popping thing. Let me just do this.
Can he at least rap though? Like
He
can
doesn't
do
rap.
The
It's
doesn't-
not,
no,
it's
it's
not
like-
rap. It's
yeah,
like
it's
the
like-
auto tune.
Yeah, like the melodic,
yeah,
like crooning
it's like
type
the
thing.
fucking
Okay.
mumbly, like you
Like
know,
a Future, but
but
not.
not
Nah,
that.
yeah.
That's what's tough about like if
Speaking
somebody's
of Future, he's putting an album out Friday.
Oh word. You hype?
Hell yeah.
I haven't heard shit from Future, and has he been on anything? Has he dropped anything?
It's crazy because he'll put out,
Like crazy.
and then gone. And
So
then
he
he's
hasn't really
back.
been on the radar in a while.
I haven't seen it. I'm not gonna say he has.
yeah,
because
not from
I don't
him.
really look for
Okay,
it.
that's good because he's not popping right now, which is good if he's not dropping shit. But if he was,
Yeah.
I saw that on Twitter, but I think it's true because it was one of like the, whatever.
Like the popping things, trending joints,
Yeah, I
activity.
don't fucking know.
Are you big on Future?
I like his songs. I like a good portion of his songs, but I wouldn't say I'm like a Future.
You're not Future Hive.
No, absolutely not. Because to me, he
Future
puts out too much stuff to where I'm like, okay. It's like Migos. It kind of gives me that.
He's
Well,
like the
I like a
artist
lot
that,
of that
like a
stuff,
type of
but-
artist to me that can do that shit though, because it's true. Like a lot of his shit is pretty similar.
Yeah.
So it's just like if he's just putting out similar shit on hot beats, like I'm down because I can just add it to the playlist.
Well, then in that case, I just pick the hottest of those similar songs, and then I'll listen to that.
But yeah, I mean that's what
Like
I
a
do,
March
too.
Madness. That's still one of the hottest songs ever
Yeah, that's fire.
that anyone's ever made.
That
But
shit's fire. Q, any analysis of Anthony Joshua?
yeah, man, whole lot. Listen, man. So I don't know if the boy had a concussion beforehand because there were rumors that he got knocked down sparring. Like,
Yeah, weren't there rumors that he had a panic attack too?
yeah, he said he didn't. He said that
That's what I said.
it was just
But
whatever.
his dad said he did.
Yeah. The thing is, he's been knocked out. There's been reports of him being knocked out multiple times in sparring. Like a whole gang of people knocked this boy out. The thing with Anthony Joshua, man, he seems like a nice guy. You know what I'm saying? He's obviously Jack Diesel,
Yeah.
but he's a hype job, bro. He's a hype job. He doesn't move. He's too stiff. He doesn't move his head. He has some decent power, but he's just not what the hype said, and he got exposed, in my opinion.
So you think he's like big boy built like a beast, but not the
He's-
best boxer?
Not at all. He's a good fighter. He is a good fighter, but first of all, he doesn't have heart. He's not a dog. So like when it gets ugly like that, I don't expect him to.
Do you think
reach.
Do you think Andy Ruiz is nice, or do you think?
No, he's nice.
He's nice.
He's nice.
Okay.
He's about to. And I heard that they accepted the rematch clause, so the fight's happening in like September,
Yeah, they
October.
did that shit fast.
Fast. And he's gonna get knocked the fuck out again.
You think?
Guarantee it. I'm putting money on this one.
Word.
I slept on this last fight, didn't put money on it, but
Would you have put it on Ruiz?
yeah.
Because you're not a Joshua guy.
I just think he's a fraud, man. I don't know. Styles make fights in boxing.
Boxing is interesting because, like, and I'm by no means a boxing expert, but it's interesting because you pick your fights, you fight the people you want to fight, and so you can build up a reputation, you can get a good record, you can do all these things without necessarily testing yourself. Whereas, like other sports, you go through the gauntlet of a tournament and like prove yourself
Exactly.
the champion. So yeah,
Exactly. And that's my problem.
it's
People
interesting.
Be ducking and shit. And the thing is if people want to make fights, they can do it. But a lot of times they'll just be like, well, the business says, I have to do this. And then fans just eat that shit up. And they're like, well, you got to understand the business.
Yeah,
Like, bro.
like it's easy to duck it if you got a good PR team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or if you got some stands that are just like, oh, it's fine. But, bro, as consumers, like, I don't get paid off of anything that they get. I just want to see the dope shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see the best fights. So all this duck shit, I'm not cool with.
I
But
feel that.
he hired a sports psychologist for the fight. Like, he's mentally weak, bro.
Tell him.
I did
I know. I hear you.
all day on Twitter.
What else we got going on? Obviously, any new NBA Finals talk? Bunch of injuries, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Like, that sucks a little energy out of it. Even Kawhi is like a little bit hurt. Steph was sick. Clay is hurt. Looney got hurt. KD's out. Like,
I guess I'm glad it's not all on one side. Even
and
though
I'm
it
glad
seems
it's
like-
on the Warriors.
Exactly,
side, you know?
exactly. Because
Yeah.
Toronto cannot afford any
No,
injuries right now.
like if Kawhi was actually out, or
It's a
if
wrap.
even Siakam was out, or they'd be screwed.
Yeah.
We still sticking with the Warriors,
I think it's 7, like I said.
even with the injuries.
Mhm.
I heard Clay's out tonight.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that, honestly.
Like I said, I want the Raptors.
But did you pick the Warriors?
I did, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I picked them at 7, but
I want the Warriors for some reason. I'm gonna stick with them, but I'm nervous without, because they were playing that fucking boxing 1, boxing 2 shit on Steph the other day.
yeah.
They can do that all day now, and I don't know how that's gonna go. I guess other guys are just gonna have to make shots. That's what it's gonna come down to. Random ass players. I was thinking about this the other day, because during the playoffs, I guess we've kind of belabored the NBA shit, but I was just randomly thinking, they were talking about Steph. And I was like, how long could Steph's career be? I feel like Steph could set tons of career records in the NBA because he's a shooter. Like right now, he handles the ball, he does everything, blah, blah, blah. He could be 40 and just be a Kyle Korver.
Yeah.
And be the best Kyle Korver ever. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't he play when he's old as shit, and with the league continuing to transition into 3-pointers and shit like that, just own all the scoring records?
You would think.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like Tom Brady in the sense that he doesn't take a lot of abuse, like you said, and he's not like the super physical type of player or something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he can just keep himself in good health,
And
I don't see why that.
depending
I
on
don't know.
how,
I mean,
if they can keep the roster together, you know.
But even if he went, like, let's say, like, who's the John Morant's coming into the league, right? Point guard. Let's say he becomes a superstar. When Steph's old as shit, couldn't he just be on the wing for John Morant if they got a decent team and
yeah, I feel like he'll always be valuable.
be like
as a
Ray Allen?
Yeah.
Right. That was the
Went to
first
Miami
thing I
and
thought
got
of.
the ring,
I'm
went to
like,
Boston.
when did he retire? You know what I mean? 'Cause
He was older. I don't know how old, but just a random thought.
Yeah, I
was
think
thinking
so.
about.
and Ray
I
is,
mean, I think
Ray
that's
is a more
pretty-
all-around basketball player than Steph.
I don't know about
Or
that.
what?
Mm.
I definitely think so.
No,
I think
how so?
Steph is
like what
better.
what could Ray do that Steph couldn't do?
Dude, get to the rack, yam, dunk, jump. Early
Yeah,
Ray Allen
but-
was like,
Yeah,
unlike
he was more of an athlete. I
More
would say.
athletic,
Yeah.
but I don't know
He was
about more of a
dunking on fucking
basketball
people.
player.
I
'Cause
thought
he
he played
couldn't-
better defense. They didn't have to hide him on
Probably,
defense.
but he couldn't dribble and pass like Steph.
No, but he could get to the cup and
Yeah.
put up stupid numbers.
Yeah, he was nice.
I think the defense is just the biggest thing. If you can play D and you can play offense, then you just get a little edge.
Yeah.
But
How
Steph's-
tall was Ray Allen? Was he like
6'5",
6'5", 6'6"?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I think
think
he's
6'5",
tall. He's
like-
taller and stuff for sure.
Exhilarating content from the boys.
I think. Yeah, he.
Any thoughts on Jay-Z being a billionaire? A billionaire. Who wanna
Dude.
be a billionaire?
Yeah, he's 6'5".
Who wants to be
For 1 million
Billionaire.
rupees.
Dude, he has made the most money on fucking Ace of Spades.
Is that what it was? I didn't even look at it.
310 of the million came from Ace of Spades, which was the
He
highest.
said that in his
Wasn't that how much one bottle is?
Damn near.
Fucking it's like booze. I just don't get. I don't ever see any. Like I see people drinking Ciroc all everywhere.
We don't hang in those crowds, bro.
But I don't see.
You live in Lansing, Michigan, dude.
No, we drink Ciroc here.
Well, I know, but like even at, it's not like that's like Moe is the fucking champagne of choice. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
but-
saying? At like award shows and stuff, like that's what you think of, like expensive
Yeah.
champagne. You would think of that.
yeah, I mean,
over Ace
it'd
of
be,
Spades.
You're right. It'd be interesting to. I mean,
It's
I
just
don't know. if
surprising
you're-
that that's the highest of his riches.
It'd be interesting to see how many bottles, like the quantity of bottles, compared to other champagnes. Like, is it
I don't
way
think
down
it's-
there, but it's just so expensive?
I don't
that
think
it-
it's that much.
I mean,
more
it's got to
expensive.
be, though.
How much is a bottle of Ace of Spades? Look that up.
There's a
It's
bunch of
expensive.
different ones. I looked at it. There's ones that are like 200, and there's ones that are like 1,000.
Because it does seem
But
like
there's the same thing with
with other
Moe
champagne.
and everything else.
that's crazy, bro.
he said
But
100.
I think the bottom line though is like way more expensive than the cheapest Moe-T.
True.
Like, so the cheapest one I'm finding here is $250.
And the cheapest Mo is $50.
Yeah.
So it's way high end.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think their high end is higher than other high ends, or the same?
Oh yeah.
Do you think?
Bacon.
I'm seeing one on here that's for $16,000.
I mean, yeah, but there's every
I'm broke, bro.
expensive every expensive liquor has something that's like ridiculous.
much?
Hell yeah.
Aged
There's wines that are
fine.
probably
No,
like
I believe you.
$1
I'm
million
just-
bucks.
That shit.
Oh, for
It's
sure.
fucking been aged for 9,000 years.
And
It's
tastes
from
like
the
everything else you
cavemen.
fucking drink. With
Yeah,
extra bubble.
I'll never be the dude. Like, yeah, on a special occasion, I might get something a little. Like, I might get something for $20 instead of 10.
That's
but-
funny,
Fucking
bus.
bum.
But miss me on like the
Nah.
champagne is champagne, dude. Half the
Yeah,
time I
not
like
like
I like
that.
the taste of the Andre better than the random ass
Yo,
shit.
Not like
it's the
that. Like
a
there-
headache you're trying to avoid.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But come on, like
But there's
I've
like
had a headache
tequila,
before.
like there's a difference. It's in wine, especially. There's a difference between like a $10 bottle and a $20 bottle,
Right.
like you said,
Right.
like a significant difference. And then there's a difference between the 20 and 30 and 30 and 40.
Yeah.
Same with liquor and shit.
Hell
Like
yeah,
we didn't
I
know
agree.
the difference between 5 o'clock and like a Smirnoff, which isn't some high end shit, but until the next day.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh damn.
The best way to view the difference, though, is like you remember, like you would walk into Total Wine out west, and you would see Ace of Spades in the store, and you would also see
and you would
Moet.
stay in there for 2 hours and get fucked up.
And
on
you, well,
wine
yeah,
tasting.
you would be like, who the fuck could ever afford this shit? But anyway, like the top line Moet was always like $100, but the bottom line Ace of Spades was like $250
in
So-
these general
in the
stores.
stores. Yeah,
Right.
like
So just your Joe Schmo that wants to go cop the most expensive bottle just without planning,
yeah,
just go to the store.
I think
cop.
like the more expensive Moet is like special edition shit that you can't find regularly.
Dude, I remember
or
the first
whatever.
time I walked into one of those stores and saw like the
Facts.
bottles that's fucking this big. I was like, dude, I'm saving up.
I agree too. And I don't know, he might own like a piece of the company, which probably makes other liquors and
he
shit.
says in What's Free, in the land of the free where the blacks enslaved, 3/5 of a man, I believe is a phrase. I'm 50% of Douce, and that's debt free, and it's debt free. 100% of Ace of Spades worth half a B.
And you said Ace of Spades was the biggest one.
Yeah, it was 310 million. And his like music catalog was the least.
Rock Nation, half of that, that's mine.
Well, it was the least that was listed. It was like the top 5 things he was making money off of.
Sheesh.
And then Rihanna
Yeah, she's the woman.
Yeah.
out here rocking
and
it.
Serena Serena was the first self-made sports or what the fuck was it? It was like the first self-made woman to get on the sports Forbes list or something.
Wow.
Which is, I kind of thought she would have done that already because she's been like
Yeah.
in it for a while now. She's been like the face of women's sports for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, all these people, I mean, Jay-Z's probably the best example of taking your platform
Yeah.
and parlaying that shit into everything else.
Everything.
Yeah, because it's like, dude, once you have that, and he's learning and, oh, I closed this deal for this company, with this company, this partnership, whatever. I can use that to leverage the next one, and I know
Right.
exactly what I can get and what I'm worth and blah, blah, and he's been
Well,
doing
yeah,
for
it takes
great-
money to make money is the
Right.
thing, and he has money to make money now.
Yeah.
That's why these rich people just keep getting richer, is because they can do things.
So Jay-Z's company bought Ace of Spades in 2014.
And that's the dope thing about like being an artist and having a platform like that with an audience is you can have a company and literally just be your own marketing machine. Like how much would a company pay for a big Jay-Z endorsement?
Right.
A bunch. He's got the company and he's Jay-Z.
Right.
Mm.
And he's got other artists that love him and will endorse his shit and like, here, put this in your video. Here, do this, drink this,
And
whatever.
if you can make something cool and up price it
Yeah.
to the point, like your margins are insane.
Right. You can, and anything you do because you're Jay-Z, you can make it a luxury product,
Right.
which is dope.
It's that Jay-Z soap, dog. 200.
Damn. Spectators tea, 1 million rupees. The finest cloths.
The finest tea leaves. Spec teas.
Funk. Somebody said, I was asking what we should talk about on the pod. Somebody said Chris Brown dropped a track list that has like 30 some songs.
His last joint had 45. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
I didn't even,
was gonna say.
as soon as they lost me at 30 some songs.
Well, he's shortening the shit up, so
Dude, he's
I might have to check it out.
Crazy, just content
He's
wise.
He goes, I heard the people want the short albums now. I'm going to
30.
give them 30 songs.
30.
He's wild.
He breaks a new record every fucking day.
He's got to still be doing the coke.
Yeah, maybe.
You can't make a
It's
30
working for
track
him.
album and not be on it. Not be on that stuff.
That good stuff.
What else? Do you guys ever see the Jon Bellion studio stuff?
I saw you tweeting about it.
Dude, that stuff is always. Remember we used to watch like the Ryan Leslie stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I don't necessarily want to compare him because I still think Ryan Leslie's shits were
next level.
not that Jon Bellion isn't on the same level of talent. I don't know that for a fact, but just the videos and the stuff he did in the videos.
It's like Jay-Z.
It's insane.
It's like
dude.
he's like that level, Ryan Leslie.
Oh my god! And he can do everything musically. He's a musical genius.
Yes.
And I don't like to throw around the genius shit all over the place.
That's a fact.
Like Kanye and stuff like that. Ryan Leslie is a musical genius, bro.
Yeah, dude.
He's probably a genius. Period.
I think he is.
Motherfucker
too,
went to Harvard and like, oh god. But yeah, the Jon Bellion stuff. I just like watching that shit, and I don't like play instruments and stuff like that.
What is it? Just like stew sessions?
He just can do it all, man.
Okay.
And like he'll do acoustic stuff, he'll rap, he'll play literally every instrument you could possibly, and it's always good vibes. You know what I'm saying? It's like
he looks like
So 1, 2, 3, but if it's
damn, that shit's super fire.
it originally started like I am just a something from the planet on Long Island. I'm in the middle of telling a story, so he turns around, he's talking, he's like, in case you fucking forgot. And I'm listening to the hi-hat with the bass. I'm like, that's like a wicked, it'll be a wicked sample chop. I'm like, I call up my line. I'm like, yo, can you scream at me? In case you fucking forgot.
it's just like
That's just fire.
there's talented artists, and then there's talented artists. Like he's one of those cats that's behind like other records that aren't just his, writes, produces, does it all, and does his own shit.
He's with VMG.
Yeah.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah, he was one of the. I think Logic and him were the original too, right? It was Logic and then Jon Bellion.
Yeah. And they've signed Quinn, and then another girl. I forget what her name is though.
Is that it's not? Is it that Chelsea Cutler
Yeah.
girl? Okay, I've seen
It's
Quinn on
her,
tour with her, but I didn't
And
know.
it's
if she
one other dude that does like R&B shit.
Okay. Yeah,
So there's 5 artists on there.
I just love watching that.
Yo,
shit.
I was like you. I love that shit. I have a
Yeah.
playlist on YouTube for just studio fucking videos because I can watch this shit all day long.
And I guess that's the thing too, is a lot of people can put up like studio footage, and I still, as an artist, I like watching that stuff. But to have people chop it up where there's not really any boring parts, they get to the shits. It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Bro, you should, whenever you get some time, FKJ, he does that shit. And
Okay.
like
Yeah, he's
he's like a French artist, I think, and he plays everything, and he'll just put songs together like on the spot type shit.
Shit amazes me, man.
Oh my god! And he has a song with Masego called Tadao, and they put that shit together. Masego ended up putting it out by himself with like the 8-minute session, cutting in like 4. But just how they did it was just insane.
The video like song sucks.
I like the creation of the video way more.
First of all, it's like it just flows better.
Yeah.
It seems like they chopped it up like bad in the video. It
for
pissed
sure.
me off. I
Yeah.
was like, what the fuck?
That song is tight, but
Yeah.
the 8-minute one's way better.
Way better.
These guys depress me sometimes though. Like I'll wake up in the morning and be like, all right, I'm gonna write a song
Yeah.
today. Like I'm gonna get it done.
Mhm.
And I'm like, writer's block. Feel like I'm just not being creative at all. Can't come up with that. End the day with like nothing. And then I watch one of these videos and it's like, okay, I can't write a fucking song, dude. Jeez, that's just 3% of what they did in the studio that day.
Right.
Golly.
Oh.
I heard this on a podcast. I didn't really pay attention to it close, but apparently they were gonna do a Mac Miller doc, and it got canceled because the family said no.
Oh, I heard about the doc.
I heard it was.
I didn't
hear it got canceled.
I heard it got canceled today just reading your thread, but I didn't know why. But
Yeah, I heard it was because the family didn't want it, which
Did that come out like today or yesterday that they didn't want it?
could be.
Because it was only like 3 days ago that I saw that they were.
still making
It said, like the Mac Miller documentary is in the works.
Yeah.
Stopped by the estate. So,
That was yesterday.
which does anyone know how it got announced?
Mm-mm.
Because
It was on Twitter. Like,
It begs
all
Like
over.
who started
it
it?
begs the question, dude. Why do people run to social media as the first thing? You didn't talk to the family about doing this shit?
Right.
You were just like, we're making a Mac Miller documentary and putting it on Twitter for everybody?
It's probably because the initial like what you get initially, they thought probably is greater than, you know what I mean? It's like,
That's part of the problem.
if
bro.
I just do this, if I'm like, I'm making a Mac Miller doc, oh shit, what? You know, like,
And then you know what a grimy part of that is? Not to say whoever did it is doing this intentionally, but someone that would do that is probably putting some pressure on the family. Like,
Right.
hey, we got all this traction now.
Right.
Everyone's expecting this. Like, don't let everyone down. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I mean, I would think if I was the family or something, and the whole world, because he was beloved by
Right.
everybody,
Right.
it's like, oh, I'm looking forward to this, blah, blah, blah. But you don't really want it to happen as a family. You feel a little pressure. But fuck that.
Yeah.
Like, get your ducks in a row. That's one of my biggest pet peeves in music, in any entertainment, all this bullshit, is the whole, oh, an idea popped in my head. I got to go tweet about it like it's fucking happening. And then 2% of it comes to fruition.
Right.
But unfortunately, like you said, this day and age, that's probably not a bad tactic. It gains
Yeah.
traction.
you get hella followers, retweets.
If
likes,
it doesn't follow through, they're
instantly.
on to the next thing anyway.
Exactly.
So
And then it's like, well, I tried. They said no.
I just can't like look myself in the mirror doing that type of shit. Like,
Bro.
I value my reputation a little more and like my word more than that. Not that it's that deep with other things, but
No, it's
I don't know.
a self thing.
Yeah.
Need to be able to sleep at night.
That would have been dope to get a Mac Miller documentary,
sure.
but yeah, obviously if the family doesn't want it, of course not.
Yeah.
Mo, right before we came here, I saw you tweet something about social media censorship.
Boobs.
Porn?
Elaborate.
So today, like, this big thing went down on Twitter, like, about YouTube, like,
Oh yeah.
censoring everything because of this whole, like, Vox thing.
Mhm.
Like, them calling for a bunch of, like, channels heads and stuff like that. And it, like, snowballed into this huge, like, censorship purge or demonetization of tons of channels that are about to go down on YouTube. And apparently it's going to be a huge deal within the next, like, month.
Mm-hmm.
And
So, okay.
I saw like some video game player guy, whatever the fuck,
Streamer.
saying like the new Call of Duty that's coming out in October has a mode where it's like hand fighting. It's like, you know, those are all the kills. So he was all pumped because you can actually put that on YouTube because there's no guns.
yeah, they're like, they're starting to, like, today it started. And it's supposed to finish up within the next couple months of just, like, all of these
Purge.
yeah.
Okay.
And it's like,
Before we get to the censorship aspect, where do you stand on like what you just talked about, Dags?
Me?
Like the video game aspect of like guns. in
Oh,
video
I don't
games.
give a fuck, bro.
I'm pumped about that game, low key.
Me too.
Because of the hand-to-hand combat.
No, fuck no. I didn't know that shit was a thing. Yo.
It's so
That seems dumb. I want to fucking I want to shoot somebody. I'd rather
I don't want to live in real life in my video
We can
game.
go scrap outside.
I've always thought that argument was ridiculous. Like, you know, like
That it causes
this kid shot up the school because he was playing
Yeah,
Grand
that's some
Theft
dumb
Auto or
shit.
some shit. Like, that's just an excuse.
for shitty parents.
Whoever's saying it, whether it's the parents or it's the kid himself that did something like that, like, you didn't shoot up a fucking school because you were playing Grand Theft Auto, bro.
Well,
Like,
and-
no way.
So
Fuck.
I'm spitballing here because I'm just thinking about this while you're talking. I feel like there's some parallels between the censorship debate and even like the video game gun debate, from a sense of, yeah, I would agree with the fact that I don't want my 8-year-old kid playing a bunch of violent video games all
Yeah,
day.
it's like it's
But,
just like
but
watching
that doesn't
movies.
but that doesn't mean I'm gonna go be like, get rid of all violent video games. I'm gonna be like,
No.
my kid ain't gonna have them
Right.
and playing.
Yeah.
I'm going to
That
actually parent.
that is the fucking thing. I don't have kids, but I know that if you don't want your child to have access to something, then you have to do something about it.
Yeah.
And it is tougher nowadays with the internet, but
For
there are
sure.
ways to do it.
Exactly. Like the shit is out there, no matter what.
Right.
You know, so you have to do what you're supposed
Dude,
to do.
my-
Protect your child from that shit.
My parents were as drastic as when we were kids. We didn't have cable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, if we had cable, would it have been harder to censor certain things they didn't want us to
I'm
see?
sure.
Yeah. We didn't have cable.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does that mean, yeah, that was the great choice and everyone that had cable? No, that was their choice.
Right.
They made
Right.
that choice. And every parent has a choice to do that with their kids, that type of
sure.
thing. So yeah, that's where I come from that. And I just saw your tweet maybe an hour ago or whatever, and I didn't have time to look into the specifics of the YouTube shit for now. Like I tried to a little bit, but in general, anytime I hear censorship with social media and stuff like that, that's kind of where I stand from a perspective of no matter what they're censoring, I probably don't fuck with it. I probably don't condone it. I probably don't think it's tight, but I don't think I condone censoring it.
Dude, I wanted to, because right before we got here, like fucking Canton responded to my tweet, and this is the thing that, like, he's right. Like, there's no argument against what he sent here. I'll just bring up his tweet here. So,
okay. Shout out, Ken. What up, dog?
Yeah, like, I mean, but I get this argument every single time I tweet something about this shit. I agree to a point. I'm not mad at YouTube for blocking Nazis, people who deny the Holocaust, and individuals who think they made up Sandy Hook. Those people should not have a following. Dude, no one's arguing that. Like, anyone with the brain is being like, those are
arguing
all,
what though? Because
those are all violent, like, people that are insinuating, like,
not necessarily. People who deny the Holocaust aren't violent necessarily.
Well, a lot of times they have violent, like, background,
like that.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
you-
like
insinuations.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not, and the Sandy Hook one is a little bit weird to me. Like, that one's, I don't know, but I could go either way on that one. I think it's kind of shady, but it's just kind of whatever. To me, that's not a huge deal. Anyway, the bottom line is everybody loves to bring up Nazis and all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. Dude, if you got 100 people in the room and ask them for anyone to raise their hand if they agree with Nazi thought, maybe one would probably raise their hand, probably none.
Yeah.
Even if they thought they probably wouldn't raise their fucking hand.
Well, but that's the thing. It's unpopular thought. And why is that? Because we allow free speech to shun those people. They are deemed insane because other people are able to prove them wrong. That's the whole reason. If we get rid of that, then yeah, I get that. Like, you could go either way on it. But my whole thing is no one's arguing against any of this other shit. My biggest thing is, dude, there's a difference between violent speech and
hate speech.
I hate speech. It's like I
know, but that's the popular term.
Yeah, but it's more so like what did I say? Like insulting speech. Like, I am free to insult you.
True.
Without deeming like, or without wishing violent thoughts upon you. I'm able to insult you.
Okay.
And you have to deal with it. Or insult me back.
Or
like,
beat your
that's
ass.
allowed. That's allowed.
Right, but there's a lot of gray area in there.
Why? Why is there gray area?
I'm not agreeing or disagreeing. I'm just like thinking out loud. What's your point to say you're allowed to insult?
You're allowed to insult because
to play devil's advocate.
Tons of things are insulting.
To play devil's advocate, somebody on YouTube is allowed to insult with their platform, and somebody else is allowed to call for them to be off the platform. And the private company platform is allowed to take them off the platform.
Right. But that's where the argument lies, is YouTube is not saying that they're a publisher or not. They're playing both sides of the fence.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big issue with social media.
But that's what I'm saying, though, is they all love to say it's a place for all of us to have free thought and to discuss differing opinions. If they kick people off the platform, that's not the case.
It sounds similar to the Twitter situation that we were.
It's all
kind of
social.
recently.
Dude, Facebook's doing it. YouTube's doing it.
What are you referring to?
When we were talking about Twitter,
Joe Rogan,
the Joe Rogan interview with the Twitter, when they were talking about, like, I guess their views or whatever, however they stood on their platform. But
that's probably my biggest issue with the little bit of research I did for the last half hour is I just see a big slippery slope.
Mm-hmm. That's
because
what it is.
it's like you referred to Canton's tweet there, right? Like, yeah, everybody agree. Like, okay, you can never say everybody.
Most people,
99.9% of
for
people,
the most part, people
agree that
you can't say everybody,
right?
Never
agree that shit is terrible.
Yeah,
but what happens when the next? Because it's going on right now. Like, there are things that maybe only like 65% of people think are terrible,
right?
But people are pushing for those to. Get silenced, and maybe some that 50% of people.
But that's why I say insulting speech, because you may find something extremely insulting, and the next person sitting next to you doesn't feel anything about that at all.
Didn't like Instagram and Facebook recently ban like Farrakhan and Alex Jones and somebody else or something.
Yeah.
It's that type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't have to agree with the shit these people say, but
No.
the fact that they just get totally taken out of the public discourse is like,
Just because you disagree with somebody doesn't mean you have to hate them. Like,
well,
that's-
you can. I mean,
But
or
that's
you
the
can hate
thing.
them, but-
Yeah, you can hate them.
Yeah.
You don't have to like fuck with them. You don't have to listen to
but
them
that's
or
the thing, though, is dude,
associate with them in any way.
I don't like
shape, or
how
form.
everybody automatically assumes when somebody disagrees with them, it's like, I cannot believe you disagree with me. You're a hateful blah, 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 blah. No, I'm just disagreeing with you. It's not the end of the world.
Dude, I mean, to me, that's like a common thing. It's hard to find people that are just cool with disagreeing with them. Because
Right.
people want to be right.
Well, but that's the whole problem, though, is if YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, they all want to play that game, then they're newspapers, they're publishers. Like, they actually have to like take the responsibility of putting out things that they could get sued over and things like that if they wanted to deplatform people.
right. I do agree that these social medias need to decide whether they're a publisher or a platform.
And that's the problem, though, is like, we wouldn't have any argument if YouTube came out tomorrow and said, hey, we're a publishing platform, deal with it. Then they need to act like so and deplatform people, take videos off that they don't agree with and things like that. Yeah. I have no problem with that. None. But they don't. They play both sides.
Yeah.
They're being a publisher while they're still trying to be a platform for everybody, which doesn't work.
Yeah,
You don't have the same rules.
I mean, one of the problems too that I saw was some like a real journalist. I mean, allegedly, I don't know them well or anything, but from what it seems like, a real journalist had a YouTube channel that just got demonetized in this shit. And it's because they reported on extremism, activism, like things that you're going to use certain keywords and buzzwords and things like that when you're reporting on this shit.
Yeah.
And they got demonetized.
Yeah.
And that's the slippery slope I'm talking about, is like, we're talking about algorithms and fucking just very arbitrary reasons to deplatform and demonetize and whatever different people. It's just like, you can't tell me there's a clear-cut way to do that shit.
Right. And here's the thing is, like, dude, I understand that these are all private companies and everything, but the slippery slope that I'm seeing is, and that no one wants, is that if this keeps happening, guess who's going to have to step in? The government. Right. And I don't want that to happen.
I've heard
It's going to be like cable and everything else that you have to pay a subscription for, and they have to maintain it and everything like that and make sure everything's compliant and all that shit.
Don't some of the companies want that to happen?
I'm sure some of them
Probably,
do.
Because I think they've just gotten so big and out of control that they don't even.
Some of them do, but some of them don't.
Yeah. I forget which one it was. It was either.
I know Twitter doesn't.
Okay, maybe it was Zuckerberg then.
Probably Zuckerberg. He's probably fed up with
Do you guys
all
think
this
Zuckerberg's
shit
a human?
anyway.
I don't know.
I really don't know, dude.
I don't know.
You see that dude and his mannerisms and the way he talks, and
He's a Tesla. He's a real life
Bro.
fucking Tesla
I
robot.
shouldn't even be saying this shit.
Dude, you're talking to the right one. Fed's watching at all times.
Fuck.
We're live.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the biggest thing is I see all the time, like, technically everybody says publishers and platforms can legally choose who they want on their platforms. I agree. But you can't then advertise that you're a free speech platform.
Yeah.
Like, that's just
I'm with that.
disingenuous. Like, you can't do that.
So you're saying have social media basically follow, if they're just a platform,
If they
then
want,
they should follow the same laws as literally like the Constitution.
yeah, if they want to be that platform, they all say they want to be that public square where everybody can feel safe to voice their opinion.
What
But
are
in
you
a but in a
thinking?
public square, you could say a lot of the
In a
things
public
that they're
square,
taking-
if you say something that's not violent,
right.
you can't then be stabbed and killed for what you said.
Well, nobody's stabbing and killing anybody though.
You're killing them off of the platform.
But that you can't make that comparison.
No, I'm saying though that you're silencing them. You are.
For sure. But not stabbing and killing them.
Okay, what other
You're gagging
Big
them.
difference though.
Dude, I'm making an example. It's not
loading the gun, putting it
literally
in their
stabbing
mouth,
and killing them.
and busting the
I'm just
Beretta.
saying it's not a good example.
No, yeah.
It's a metaphor.
I
it's a
understand what you're
metaphor.
saying.
It's not
Yeah,
exact.
it's fine.
A better metaphor would be gagging them,
Right.
preventing them from speaking.
Right.
I mean, the thing is, I'm just trying to make a metaphor that's like, you can't do anything about it. You can't tear that tape. Nobody can set you free. Nobody can do anything except for the person that captivated you. That's it.
Okay. I didn't really follow that part. But.
You can't have anybody else get you deplatformed other than Twitter, other than YouTube.
Right. So
Other
if you
than
get,
right.
Yeah.
No one. But,
Nobody can rescue you, is what I'm saying.
But then again, like, like I said, I'm just playing devil's advocate. People can like run you off the public square as long as they don't assault you. They can like shout you down.
Yeah, you can depopularize a opinion.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's how it should be.
Right.
Though.
Right.
Like that's what should be happening.
I
Right.
agree.
Like
Yeah, you can.
so
Somebody could
that's-
still sit there and scream as loud as they wanted to
Right.
about anything.
So you're saying you don't have. I mean, you have a problem with it to the extent that you don't agree with it, but let people bitch and moan about it all they want, as long as YouTube doesn't take these channels down.
yeah.
But they are.
Yeah.
Because
I
the
agree.
thing is, like, who cares? Like, if somebody without a brain wants to go follow
Right.
somebody that's talking whatever shit,
Yeah.
Right.
Let 'em.
like, okay, let them have their 200 followers. What does that matter?
Yeah.
I totally agree.
That's real shit. Real shit, boy.
All right, we'll pay attention as things unfold. Isn't that just like happening within the last few hours?
Well, the scary thing is it's unlike any other demonetization, like Purge or whatever, what they've done. So everyone's freaking out because it sounds like it's about to like impact even people without political views, without like what you guys were saying, video games, like literally anything that's offensive.
Well, and that's what's just to get off the more political debate of it, just the creative side of it. It's so disappointing. YouTube was such a dope, and is such a dope app for independent creators. You
Well,
could
it's the reason why they are.
yeah, you could go make dope shit, and if your shit got popular, then it came to the top of the searches, and more people paid attention to it. Blah blah blah.
Right.
Now you got all these algorithms that are like, oh, but this is a better source according to us. And so you search something, and you, like, let's say there was a really popular video you saw. It had 3 million views, whatever. But YouTube didn't deem it appropriate. So you tried to search the content to find it again, and it came up with just all the basic, like, whatever CNN and CBS and Fox and whatever said about this thing. And you had to search through pages to find this really popular video, and all these other ones had like 3,000 views and stuff like
That's
that.
what happened.
That's whack.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
Yeah, like I've heard songs and shit, and I've been like looked up the title of it, and it's all the fucking reaction videos and shit. It
Yeah.
never gives you the fucking real song.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like
Like that
almost
shit's absurd.
because to me, the stuff that gets all the views and shit like that, that's the people speaking. Like, that's the popularity. Whereas the other shit is like some small elite group being like, no, this is what we want. You
Right.
to- Fuck that. Like, I don't care if it's bad or good. Like, let us decide.
I mean,
Right.
that's why they have the like button, the thumbs
Yeah.
down. You know, you can fucking
Yeah.
comment and shit.
And like, yeah, can people find ways to manipulate that shit? Sure. But like, your average person can see through that shit. Just give me what I want.
Right. And even if like, and if somebody can't, well, then let them learn. Like, there's no harm in just letting people find their way. Like, that's
I learned everything off YouTube.
Yeah.
Everything.
Well, that's one thing. Like you said, you hate the term hate speech. I agree with you to the extent that on social media, I see that getting to a point where it just gets like weaponized where, oh, I don't like this person. So we've talked about this on the pod before. I don't like this person and they just did something good or something good just happened to them. And I'm going to go dig into the archives to find where they're a bad person and make this go viral. And, oh, see, look at this hate speech and now they're dead. Dude, and this is kind of going on a tangent, but we've all said or done some fucked up shit in our past.
Yeah.
All of us. Whether you think it's fucked, somebody thinks it's fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Or a group of people think
You
it's
might have
fucked up.
said something that you didn't even think was
That's what I'm
offensive
saying,
at
but
all.
somebody
and
did.
Someone's over somewhere stewing
And
about whatever
so
you
to
just
think that
said.
there's just people out there just trying to dig into your past, like, I'm glad, to certain extents, I'm glad I'm not famous today. Like,
Yeah, that
fuck
would be
that
the
shit,
fucking
man.
worst.
You got to be on eggshells.
Fuck that. No, that would be fucking terrible. The biggest thing that bothers me about that shit too is like, because I was thinking of just like a broad example of, and like, dude, imagine a world where like you wanted to like figure out, or just some entertainment or whatever, like about a certain topic, like sports or whatever, and you go to Google like a comedy skit or whatever about a certain topic, or a YouTube search, and we live in a world now that like what you were saying, only the major networks pop up first. And like you get all the late night comedy and shit like that first.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't get anything until you scroll through all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? Like that would be terrible.
Well,
but
it's basically just YouTube's just becoming TV.
But that's what I'm saying.
They have
and
YouTube TV.
Yeah.
That's where it's headed.
It's becoming like company run.
But they advertise themselves
right,
as
which is
not.
the problem. Which is the problem.
It's amazing to just see like the journey of YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I remember before the ads came, and then the first ad came, and it was always skippable. I'm like, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
What is this? And then you couldn't skip them.
Yeah.
Now there's 2 of them.
Shit, I know. Up to 5.
Some of them you
sometimes.
can't skip.
Exactly. There's like skip ads now, and it's like what?
It's fucking
Ads with an S.
It's fucking called YouTube, dude.
Exactly.
It's for the people.
And yeah,
dude.
there's certain aspects of it like ads, like shit like that I can see just the development of a company.
Yeah, and
You know
gotta
what I'm
pay
saying?
people. Yeah,
Yeah,
AdSense
exactly.
and
It's
shit,
actually good for
sure.
creators
Yeah.
to,
yeah,
you know.
that's fine.
Yeah.
But the essence of YouTube
Yeah.
is independent individual creators making content.
Right.
Yo,
Getting
now
their shit
it's
noticed.
where you like scroll past the video now, and you don't even have to click the video, and it starts playing on your phone.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yo,
That's fucked up.
I actually like that shit.
I hate that shit because if you're on the homepage, the home, like not your subscriptions, they just kind of give you what they think you want to see.
Yeah.
And then I'll just be scrolling, looking for something, turn my head, some shit's playing. Now it's in my fucking history, some dumbass
dude,
fucking.
I think
Oh, I didn't think it was like that. Like,
Yeah.
just like the thumbnail, like shows
no
you clips of
you
the
literally.
video.
So you're like just scrolling, and it'll be like the thumbnail of the video, and you just
Oh.
leave
Yeah.
it there for a sec, and it'll start playing the video
Plays
with no
for-
How
sound.
about on Twitter where like you click on a moment or whatever, and it's got the video at the top?
Yeah,
It's like a news broadcast or
It's
whatever,
like in
let's say, and you start scrolling down
And
to
it
like
just
see the
stays
comments,
there?
and it fucking like pops on your phone. Like, you have to like scroll it
I was
away.
scrolling for a
Like,
reason.
exactly. It's like I'm here. I'm here.
Right.
fucking
No,
weird.
like you're, dude, I fall asleep sometimes listening to some podcast on YouTube or something like that.
Mhm.
Then I'll wake up and it's like, yeah, who knows what the fuck popped up in my history?
Exact- yo, all
while I
type
was-
of random shit.
Right.
Like
It'll take you down the wormhole,
yeah,
dude.
I don't want to watch this bullshit.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch this. Why do you say I did?
Right. And then like 10 years down the road, I'll be super famous and someone will be like, look at the videos this dude
Exactly.
watched. I'm like, I was literally sleeping while this shit was going on.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That's how that shit goes, bro. Fuck.
Damn, son.
When I was looking at researching that a little bit too, though, one of the thoughts that popped in my head was also because who's the guy that kind of started the shitstorm? That Vox dude,
Oh, I don't.
Carlos,
remember his name. Whatever.
This is
I don't know.
on
Maza, maybe Carlos Maza.
Mm.
But people like that, the arrogance to me of just declaring like they were talking about how these channels and these creators that he doesn't like, right, and that he thinks should be deplatformed. And he's talking about how they're able to use YouTube to mobilize a bunch of people and grow their channel and grow their popularity and sell their merchandise and blah, blah, blah. The arrogance of you to think, oh, you're morally right and on your high horse, but all these millions of people that they've been able to mobilize are totally wrong.
And you're
Can
assuming.
that happen? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But the arrogance to just be so confident in knowing that and say, take all their voices away,
Right.
that rubs me the wrong way.
No. It's that argument to me is not very
just
founded
sound
on
dumb.
Because like I
anything.
said, there are times where, yeah, maybe that's necessary. Like it's not like big
The
groups of
problem
people
is
haven't
everybody
done fucked up
listens
shit.
to that shit. You know what I'm saying?
85%
Like,
of people are willing to be led.
Yeah.
People don't give a
fucking-
fuck.
Yeah, like
Take me.
it's the same shit as the only other view I had on that whole thing, that whole talk right there was like, yeah, this fucking Nazi guy makes a video and he's making money off it. But your motherfucking ass is going and watching it to make this dude money.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
And you're
stop
voicing it on Twitter
doing that
and getting
shit.
him popular.
And that fucking guy you were just talking about, stop
Yeah.
running with that
Giving them
dude's
pub.
opinion. Run with the motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Well,
everybody wants to go against the grain. It's
Yeah.
that shit that Kevin Hart was talking about on that one interview. Like, the one thing like Kevin Hart's ever said that I like stand by so fucking, I agree with everything, where he's like, people see the Titanic, you know, and he's like, everybody likes the Titanic, right? But then there's the one guy that's like, fuck the Titanic. And it's like, why, dude? You know what I'm saying? And I get if you actually don't like something, that's fine.
But the other guy who's like,
But it's
yeah,
just-
fuck that. And
You're
he's
just
like,
agreeing
what are you guys talking
to
about?
agree. You just don't
Like-
want that shit to be like,
Yeah.
I don't like it because it's fucking.
Yo,
It's like Game of Thrones. Like, I don't fucking actually like Game of Thrones.
No,
Like,
you're
that
just trying to be
shit's
cool.
whack. I'm not trying to be the
no,
man.
it's the
about,
same thing
you
for
know what I'm saying?
anything popular, music,
It's
food,
everything.
anything. If
everything.
a bunch of people like it, there's going to be people who dislike it just because a bunch of
Just
people like it.
because,
Yeah.
yeah.
And what rubs me the wrong way is then when those people make it this huge issue, like this moral
Yeah.
issue, this like
It's the same thing.
it's
as,
like no, you just don't fuck with that person,
Right.
and maybe they're a dick,
Yeah.
like maybe they're a bully, maybe word.
It's the
But
same
they're-
thing as
but they aren't
politics, dude.
necessarily Hitler. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
politics. It's sports. It's everything.
Everything.
It's if you're gonna take a side, have a reason to back that.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's why we're
Don't
all.
just do it to do it.
That's
No
why
one
we're all on
fucking
the
cares.
side of like the response is more free speech,
Mm-hmm.
like less censorship, because
Yeah.
as much as I think there's a bunch of dumbasses out there, and there are,
Yeah.
I tend to believe that most people are trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're
so-
trying to take in information.
Yeah, and so if you have, if you have two people in a room arguing something, I like, maybe I'm naive. I like to believe that the majority of people are going to be able to follow the logic of whoever.
Yeah.
So if you don't like the opinions of somebody, give me the other side.
Well, and what
And
I was
think
thinking,
I think that's worth more than just saying shut up.
and maybe I'm completely off base here, but when I was thinking about it, like I know everybody's like super afraid of like, another Hitler or whatever. Like people can follow a fucked up person
Oh, yeah.
really
and
easily.
rightly so.
DT 45.
But the biggest thing though that we ignore a lot today is, dude, look how far our society has come today, that we have information literally at our
Yeah.
fingertips
Like look something.
every day. That's not how it was.
It's harder to
back
hide
in-
things from
It's
the public,
way
yeah.
harder to hide in America.
And you know what else, dude?
Yeah.
It's way harder to hide things if you don't censor things.
That's what I'm saying. That's what everybody doesn't step back and think about is, dude, I can go on YouTube and find literally anything I want to find, how to do whatever. I went out and found 36 videos on how to finish my new basement when it gets done.
At least.
Like, dude, 10 years ago, I probably would have found one video on how to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now if you start
been
censoring
on
things,
tape.
someone might have an idea in their head, and if like there might be a bunch of people that have been thinking the same thing, and you won't know because some small group decided that's not worth knowing.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Yeah.
Or they're doing it the wrong way.
Right. And
Or,
and
yeah,
like I said,
why is this person's opinion
Yeah,
more important
right.
than the others?
and to round it out, because people will always take things out of context. We started off, of course, like the things Canton was talking about,
Yes.
and like
yeah.
everybody thinks those things are bad. And like if somebody's talking about that shit on a YouTube channel, I don't fuck with it.
Right. Yeah.
But
It's
that's
simple.
that's
And
the
you would
extent.
hope that that's the majority. Like,
Well,
that's
that-
it.
Yes, and that's what I went to when I was just saying that shit is like, stop fucking watching the dumb shit. And it sounds so basic, and it sounds like obviously, but no, because people are just like, I just want to see what they're talking about.
People want to
No,
be included
Stop
in shit.
that shit. Like that's making the platform bigger. Period.
Yeah.
Bro, that's how I live my life like this. If I don't want to fuck with something, or if I don't fuck with something, I won't.
Right.
There's a lot of things that maybe you guys fuck with that I don't, and that's fine. I don't have to watch Game of Thrones. I don't have to fucking go golfing. I don't have to do any of this shit, and you guys can enjoy that shit.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Yes.
That's just how I do. You know what I mean? I don't. If I don't give a fuck about it, I'm not gonna give a fuck about
And
it.
that's why the line is drawn at like violence.
Yeah.
Because if someone's actually harming another person, then everybody should give a fuck.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But as long as they're not doing that,
But if there's a YouTube channel that is like, and I'm sure there's lots of them that preach that shit,
yeah, then
I
I'm
won't watch it.
And
Right.
if they're actually preaching violence, I'd be down for deplatforming.
If they are
like if there's a
threatening
YouTube channel
somebody's
being
life,
like,
that's fucked
go
up.
kill all the gays, like go whatever to a certain group of people, like take them down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you can't do that under our
Anywhere.
laws.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you can't do that shit. But if they're like, I don't like gays or something like that, don't take that out of context.
Dang,
I'm talking
Pat.
about another person. But then, that's fucking whack, but you can say it.
Right.
You can say anything.
Yeah.
You can say anything, but there will be like some sort of reaction.
Well, like with your
consequence to
example,
whatever you say.
With your example today, like, dude, there's no way that you could have that opinion and not be shunned by a lot of people in today's world. Like, it's popular opinion. Like, that's it. So, yeah, you might have your 200 followers or whatever that think the way that you do, but then there's millions that don't think the way that you do.
Yeah.
So be it.
And I guess that's what I was speaking to of like, I just tend to believe that most people have a somewhat decent.
Well,
health
they
themselves.
they
do you,
should.
Do you guys agree with that or no? Because I feel like that's a debate.
No, I don't
Not
agree with
really,
that.
honestly.
I think it would be nice if
Yeah.
everyone had good intentions, but
I think
don't.
everyone and like we know.
But when I say
Probably.
most, I mean like 51%.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how to like break it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
can't.
and I don't even know if it's most people, if it's a little bit. I just know that there is a good chunk of people that, like in Dark Knight, some people just want to see the world burn.
Yeah. And
You know,
I agree. There are people
people
like that out there.
because of whatever their own, whatever their own upbringing didn't work out. Why does everyone else have shit and I don't? Type shit.
But
you know?
I guess like what I'm referring to, and like I said, if you think I'm wrong, tell me. When I talk about like politics or something with somebody, I tend to believe I might totally disagree with somebody. I tend to at least try to believe that Democrat, Republican, whatever, I feel like the majority of people that fit in there want what's best. They just have different ways of going about it and different worldviews, but they're not bad people. And then there are fringe people that are bad people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you agree or no?
To your first point, I would say, like for the political parties,
Yeah.
most people want what's best for them. That's the fucking difference. If you want what's best for you, then you don't necessarily take in what's best for everyone else because what's best for everyone else isn't best for me.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people. There's only one me. I only have one life. I have one family. I got to do whatever. So when you vote for personal interest, like if you fit in a certain tax bracket, you probably voted for Donald Trump, whether you agreed with everything he said, but if you have a business, a big business, whatever. So like your intentions are good personally, maybe, but for the greater good, I don't think they correlate necessarily.
Yeah, I think people are definitely looking out for themselves first.
It's number one law in fucking nature, self-preservation.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Do you think those two things are mutually exclusive though? Like if you vote looking out for yourself, does that make you a bad person?
No, not at all.
No, not at all.
But it
because
just-
you can actually vote for yourself in a very responsible way as well. Like,
Well, yeah.
looking out for
They
something
might
else as well.
coincide.
Like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
No, like,
Because I think I agree with you,
yeah, but
but I still also think that most people are not voting with bad intentions.
no, I think people are voting with personal intentions.
Yeah.
It's just, how can I better my situation?
Yeah.
You're not wrong for that,
Right.
but
It's like that in everything and
It is.
everything, bro. Like your job. Like, yeah, you might not want the other person to fail, but you want to succeed more.
right. Because if they fail, the company fails, and
And then there's people that want the other person to fail so they can succeed easier.
Right.
Are either of them wrong? Not necessarily. They're both ultimately trying to achieve the same goal.
and there's a third person who's like, I don't care what they're doing, I'm gonna do better. Or
Yeah.
I'm gonna,
And it's easy to kind of cover up your intentions too. It's like I want to get promoted. That means so and so gets fucked, but
Yeah.
sorry. I mean,
and that's
my
not
paycheck's
necessarily
bigger.
a bad thing, but it's not
No,
necessarily a
and-
good
no.
intention either. You know what I mean?
I guess the other question though too is like, wouldn't you think that everybody would want the most amount of information possible to make the best decision
I agree
for
with that,
themselves?
for
Yes.
I
No,
mean,
I don't think that,
No,
but I
it's-
think that's how it should be.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
Yes.
I guess the other thing is, wouldn't you like there to be
Yes.
that out there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I would
that's
like
why.
that.
Because I understand that, okay, yeah, you do have people that don't give a shit and will vote the way that they vote or do what they do without researching or doing whatever. Fine. Those are those people.
Right.
But wouldn't you like the option?
That's
out
why
there?
anytime I hear censorship, I'm like,
Exactly.
that's
And that's why it freaks me out every time, because it's like, dude, who is when you say censorship in any form, I don't give a shit if it's little or big. Who's making that decision?
That's, bro, it kind of reminds me of when we were talking about like people running companies' Twitters or social media accounts.
Yeah.
It is one person speaking for on the behalf of the entire
That's
company.
nuts. Right.
So if they, let's say like they have never been to church one day in their life and they don't believe in any of that stuff, and they deem it like whatever, like church speech being like fucking crazy. You're about to trying to mobilize the whole planet with fallacies.
Yeah.
And they have the control of the button. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's always up to a one person or a couple people.
Right.
It's the same shit as like the doctor that did my surgery to cut out my fucking bone and give me a donor bone.
Right.
My femur. He was like me. He's like a regular ass dude. Granted, he's like extremely talented at like certain things, but still, this dude's a person.
Right.
Huge room for error. Anything that is like massive in life, like people are doing. It's crazy to think about to me, and sometimes I don't even like to think about it like that. But it's a fact.
Building things. That's always weird to think.
Yes.
Houses,
Exactly.
buildings,
Bro,
bridges. Like
this whole life is just based on trust.
Yeah.
You know, we
It is.
trust that everyone is doing their part and like
I think about it
that
every
this
time
car
I go
won't
down.
blow up.
Every
that
time I
this-
go down a 2-way road
Yeah.
with no median. I'm like,
Dude,
my
I
life's in this prison.
always think about
we
that.
expect this to hold up. You know what I'm saying? We expect this to hold up. We expect all this shit to work. We trust that motherfuckers know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And that's scary
Yes.
Yeah.
because some people don't give a fuck.
Dude, driving is a great example of like,
Absolutely.
dude, every day you get on the road and you're like, so if the majority of people were out here just to fuck me up, I wouldn't ever be on the road.
That's actually a good example of like kind of what I was trying to get at of, I just don't believe there's that many just complete fucks out there.
Yeah,
Like,
like
you
there's a level, you know, like
Right.
there's different levels of like cynicism. I guess
just
is
believe
like
it's somewhere between like it's
Yeah.
somewhere in a majority, whether
I'll
it's
tell
51
you.
or 100. It's got like I pray to God it's somewhere in there.
yeah,
I might be wrong, but
Here's a
I hope
level.
you're right, but
yeah.
Here's a level. People that are like on their phone texting and like swerving into my lane.
Yeah.
If I see
Yeah.
that they're on their fucking phone when I
Yeah.
go past them,
Oh, yeah.
I literally go like into their lane and make them like slam on the brake. Because like you're a piece of shit. It
I'm
makes
sure they
you
didn't
so
mean
mad.
wrong. I'm sure they were just trying to respond to their freaking person.
Yeah.
They didn't mean
well, that's
anything
an
bad.
example of looking out for
Stop
yourself.
doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I gotta send this text, bro.
real.
God.
yeah, they're the person that literally only cares.
I
about
will say
themselves.
to your point with that shit, consideration is dying.
Consideration.
Go to a golf
is
course,
way
bro.
gone.
People don't give a fuck
Dude.
who's around them, dude.
No.
My number one pet peeve in life is not being considerate
Yeah.
of people. That
Yes.
shit is just like, what are you doing?
If you
Why are
don't hold the
wasting
door for the person behind you, you're a piece of shit.
Like just little shit.
yeah.
Oh my god, I could. Bro, I'm fucking explode.
Someday we should just make a list of the little things to determine whether you're a considerate person or not. Holding a door is up there. Like there's a lot of just little things
Little shit.
that you can determine whether a person gives a fuck or not.
Yo, integrity,
Yeah.
doing the right thing when no one's looking.
Yeah.
Shout out Nipsey, RP.
Damn. Word. Well, good thing that was a long discussion because I didn't have shit else. Did the Apple updates come out?
I was just about to say, are you guys happy with them?
I didn't even look
I
at
don't even
them.
know what they are.
No, Mo.
No,
No, Mo ain't happy. No, Mo.
Any dark mode?
Mo ain't
dark
happy.
mode came about.
That's tight.
About to use it right now.
I mean, but the thing is,
You been taking ill videos, Dex?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Butter ass quality.
I haven't posted them, but yes.
Nice.
dude,
That shit's crazy, dude. It is. It's fucking the wildest thing. It's like more clear than I see shit in like real life.
That's why I can't watch like Blu-ray TVs and shit
Yeah,
because it
so-
looks too
it's
real.
fake.
Where you're like on
too
set.
It's so real, it's fake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like this fake shit off. I need that like 360.
You can like tell they're on a set.
exactly
Yeah.
like you're behind the camera.
Right.
I don't like that.
You guys ever see like standard def now and be like, how the fuck
We
did
watched that
we
shit.
liked this
It
shit.
is
I mean,
This shit was
that was
dope.
all we knew.
Yeah.
Like,
Damn.
yo, all right, I'm going through these real quick.
Okay.
all right.
So the top features of the new iOS. Dark mode. You guys all wanted, right?
Yeah, got it.
Got it.
I didn't.
Dags didn't give a fuck.
Oh yeah, Dags didn't give a
Fucking
fuck.
loser.
Fucking loser. Faster unlock.
We didn't talk about that. Did
With
we?
the face?
It wasn't a top
With the
requested
face?
feature.
Oh, with the face or
yeah,
with
with the face.
Hell yeah. That shit takes
Yeah, why not?
fucking ever.
I don't have one of those ill phones, but
I sit there and stare at it and I'm like,
Dude in the other side screen like this
Siri
fucking
goes, "Open your
idiot."
eyes."
Dude, I don't ever get like mine's pretty fast. I don't understand why. I don't know. I mean, I could always have it faster, but
It's about to be faster now.
yeah,
That's what
I
she
mean,
said.
whatever. Apps open faster.
I guess that's
Yeah,
never
I
a
mean,
bad thing.
anything,
But that
faster
never,
for
like-
the most part. Why not?
It doesn't bother me though. Like it's
no,
not.
I don't think it takes that long.
Like as far, so you're saying, of course it's good, but that's your big rollout.
Yeah.
Yo,
That's
these
what
are
you're
like
like-
all these features are
it's like
Yeah.
fucking the new FIFA every year. They add shit
Yeah.
that like you could have added years ago,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
like
It's like they should really make
Dude,
sports
they
games
really-
every other year. If it wasn't for the
guarantee
new roster to hype
Exactly.
everyone up, yeah.
Exactly.
I guarantee all this shit is on a list 10 miles long from 10 years
For when
ago.
they don't have
Yeah.
ill
And then
shit,
they're like, let's just keep
One.
this here.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need all this right
Yes,
now.
Right.
Exactly.
I guarantee you.
keep them coming back.
Yep.
Redesigned reminders app. Who the fuck uses reminders, yo?
Yo,
Nah.
my girl used hella reminders.
I should use them, but I got a
Is
girlfriend.
that just like a calendar?
I,
Just your calendar?
Hey Siri, remind me to
no,
take
it's
the
a
cookies
se-
out
it's
of the
a
oven.
separate thing.
yeah, it's like a
from-
list.
from
Like you
calendar.
can.
But yeah, I think most people just use a calendar.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't give a fuck about that. You can. It's called controlled sharing. You can set up a messages profile so that whenever somebody messages you in iMessage, it automatically shows up with your name and picture and shit like that instead of just the number.
Huh?
I guess that seems better.
So if you've never messaged somebody and they're not in your contact list
No.
and you message them, you
Oh,
can
yeah, no,
set up
fuck
a
that.
profile yourself so
Oh.
that they don't
I'm
have
not
to
mad at
enter
that.
your information.
That's fine.
I'm not
with
mad
that.
at that.
That's fine. It doesn't excite
It would
me.
keep people from getting hoed with the new phone who dis.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
And
kinda-
for
that's
just
what
meeting
they're
new
trying to
people.
solve.
It's like, what? What's your name?
Yeah.
Just fucking
Yeah,
send
as
it to
long
me,
as you
bro.
can set it up yourself so you know what people are seeing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
tight. That's tight.
Interesting.
New emoji customizations.
Although for that last thing, what if people set up like
Right.
fucked up pic, like someone has a dick pic as their thing, and then they text you and it pops up on your phone? Fuck that.
You can change it if you want to. It's just their default.
Yeah, fuck that, dude. I don't need to be seeing any cranks.
Who you
That's
be
like
talking
saying,
to?
No,
what if
really,
somebody set up a
guys.
dick pic for their Twitter profile picture?
Yeah, I ain't
don't want
following them either. But the,
I know, but you
But I
have
can
the-
choose
You
not-
have the choice.
but exactly, but you don't have a choice whether someone just sends you a text.
Just like you don't have the choice if somebody just sends you a dick pic.
True.
You don't.
You can say
It's the
That's
same.
real- that's real.
Yeah.
it's over.
That's real.
Oh my god.
What was the
This
last
shit
one?
took a
You
list.
said?
New emoji customizations.
Dang, new mimosas.
What's a emoji, dude?
Is that the thing where you can like talk and it mimics
Like,
your face?
Mimics your face and shit.
Yo,
I don't give a
government got
fuck.
y'all out here.
I've never used that.
I used that for like 3 seconds just to see what it was.
What were you? What animal were you?
I was just a big dog.
A big old fruit.
A big dog. A new view in the Photos app. Who gives a fuck?
Like underneath?
Like they
view?
curate it by like years and days and shit like
They already
that.
did
and
that
show you
shit.
that. I know. It's
Say
just
that
a
again?
new way of
I missed that.
a new view in the Photos app.
So like you can see
I need
behind
less
your
views
picture.
in the photo app.
Yeah.
Straight up.
No, I know. Like I don't give a fuck about that shit. Make it simple.
Who
You don't need to
knows-
make it more complicated.
Who knows enough about when they took a photo to be like, all right, I'm going out to the years. I took this. I know I took this one in 2016. Now I can go to that one.
There's
And then
probably
I
some
can go to
women.
May.
There's probably some women.
Gang on.
Fuck that. That's bullshit.
I get so pissed when I go to my Mo, is there a way to turn off the fucking facial recognition in the Photos app? It makes the own album of like, oh, I recognize this person's face and this person's
Government, y'all.
I
man.
know.
Y'all better wake up.
face. Oh, I know.
Shit. Hello,
I'm not
Packy.
doing anything bad enough.
Good morning.
Government sending me crank pics.
Yo, I know. It's pics of your own crank.
That'd be fun.
His own fucking hole.
Oh shit.
This This is hate speech.
Got it. We're gonna be demonetized tomorrow.
Dude, 69 is offensive. Let's skip to 70.
Seriously.
Moe-T's gonna type in to go live next week. Episode 69. Demon.
6-star. Quick path typing. Android has already had this for years.
Literally,
y'all slow.
years.
What is quick path?
It's
I
where
have
you go.
no idea. Oh yeah,
And
that's
it just
so, dude,
forms the word.
Sprint.
That shit's crazy.
Sprint was the first fucking people 100 years ago. I remember
Yeah.
seeing that commercial.
It's been out forever.
It's nice. You can. That's
Dude,
how you
literally just
allegedly
drag
text
your
and drive.
finger and somehow it figures
just
out
go
the
like
word
this.
that you're
Yeah.
doing. It's
You
fucked
drag
up.
your finger to every letter instead of having to type it.
Hell yeah,
Really wild.
it's ill as fuck. I don't know how to.
That's probably good then, huh?
Nah,
What do you say, huh?
yeah.
I mean, that's fine.
Y'all needed
Whatever.
it. I'll let you have.
All right, word.
And then the last one is video editing tools, including video rotation.
You're a video editing tool.
Ooh,
Including
Video
what?
rotation
How
literally
does that
needs to
work?
happen. You remember
What's
we
that
went
mean?
through that a lot of times. How do I rotate this video out of portrait mode into
Oh,
landscape?
yeah.
or whatever?
oh wow,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
What the
Need
fuck?
that.
Why is
I
that
mean,
so
You've been
hard?
able to do that in like iMovie and shit.
Right. It's just a default now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's literally it.
Yeah, so basically, I would guess your assessment then is like, okay, all positive things for the most part, but that's your big rollout.
I mean, yeah, there's nothing there that's like, oh yeah, that shit's
Right.
like
Dude, R.I.P.
Next
Steve
level.
Jobs, man.
It's like crib renovations, like cleaner windows.
yeah.
Fucking
Yeah, like-
hotter oven.
It's like when the maid. It's like when the maid comes here and literally stays here for 8 minutes and doesn't even bring a vacuum, and I don't even know what she does when she's out.
Well, she knows you're not gonna say anything because you're a little boy.
Ooh.
I just tell Moe-T to say something.
ooh, I like how you censored that.
Nice.
Boy,
Don't demonetize us.
I ain't getting no chicken like that.
No, but like, dude, there's so many things I could do with iOS that
It's
would be
coming
way
next
better.
year. A little bit next year and then a little bit more
Yeah.
the year.
Every time they roll something out,
It's been coming for like 4 years now. We've had the same
when they
looking
first
shit.
made
I'm on
when
the
they first
cusp.
made iPhones, they had the ability to have battery life for 10 years.
Yep.
It's just on the list.
And then they said, fuck
right,
that.
exactly.
Yeah.
If we have for 10 years, then we can't roll out little shit every
Right.
year.
Exactly.
And make you buy a new fucking phone.
Exactly.
Dude. Oh, they did roll out a new desktop computer that costs a baseline of
Oh, I heard about that.
$16,000.
Who has
What?
a desktop?
16? I heard.
saw that.
I heard 6. It's 16.
Well, with the monitor, 16.
16, and it looks like a cheese grater. Everyone was
Was it
saying,
12 or 16?
right?
I can't
Bro.
remember.
Do you have a picture of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a cheese grater.
So it's
That's
multi,
enough.
so it's multifunctional.
Tight.
If you want
But how much
cheese
is it?
in your
The value of a
computer,
cheese grater is like $1.
I want my computer to make me cheese.
Yes.
Bars.
There
I
it
like
is.
that. That's
Yeah,
a cheese
that's
grater for sure.
100%.
That,
I literally
uh,
thought that was like a fake picture.
And that's the front of it?
Yeah.
Ooh. It's horrible. That looks like the back.
Yeah, it does.
So
It's like
somebody
where all
made
the
that and
fans
they were
are.
like, "This is it."
Yeah.
Well, it
This
looks,
said
you know
honeycomb.
ours, what ours looks like.
Yeah.
Our old one looked like a cheese grater, but not as bad as that.
They should have got them
Not even
old heads
close.
out this
Why
picture.
is
They
it so
fucking this shit up.
expensive?
Because
Look
it's
at
a
it.
fucking beast.
So it's worth the money.
No.
I mean, if you're literally doing like
If you need to do the
crazy
most.
pro, like working for a fucking
You're in, like,
video
Hollywood or
studio.
something.
But for what it does, basically, you think it's properly priced for what it does.
yeah, probably. Yeah.
And it's an Apple product.
Well, yeah.
You know,
The one thing that was laughable though is, get this. So the fucking stand
Mhm.
on this shit
Yeah.
is separate from the display.
Of course it is.
Guess how much it costs?
$1,000.
Yes.
I was about to say $500. Wow.
My computer costs $1,000, bro.
So I'm pretty sure the
My
display
car was $2,500. God damn.
the display is $5,000. Just the display.
Oh my.
And then an additional $1,000 for the stand.
The stand, bro. I could stick that shit to my wall with Velcro. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do people buy this shit? For real. Like,
I mean, I guess like if you got someone that's gonna spend $16,000 on a computer, Apple's probably just like, well, they'll spend this on
I
this
agree,
then.
but this goes back to our same
I agree
shit.
with you.
Like,
I'm
if
just
you
saying.
don't buy that shit, it's not going to cost that much.
Yeah.
But motherfuckers just can't resist.
Nah.
It's like, all right, I need
You ain't got
I need
this
the
though,
fucking
do you?
stand.
You ain't got this 16K.
We just gotta embrace that. There's just luxury products, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
And that's the thing. If you bought one, sweet.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
I'll probably
You
buy
know what
one
I'm saying?
someday.
You're a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
No, I'm just
that's
kidding.
what I was gonna say, bro. You're fucking stupid.
No,
but
I don't care. If you got it, fucking spend it.
It was so funny the way they announced it too. I always watch the announcement videos, and they're like, and we got this new display, and they announce all like the stats and everything, and everyone's getting all excited and stuff. And then they announce the price. They're like, and it's $5,000, and everyone, because it is like a crazy good display, and like it's pro, like and so everyone's like, oh, you know, not terrible. And then they go, and you can get this cool stand for $1,000 more, and everyone's like, boo.
yeah.
That's awesome.
That's dumb. That's dumb.
It's so dumb.
But if you buy it, that's fine.
But like, so if you buy the stand, the screen, and the computer, it's $12,000.
Dog, miss me.
But if you get it, that's fine. You're a fucking dumbass.
Or you could get a super nice fucking car.
Yo, a couple of them hoes. Oh, God.
All right. That was episode 68. You know what's next.
Censored.
Is it this way? Is it that way?
If it's a nice day and Mo isn't drowning in diapers, then maybe we will be able to do a outside pod.
That would be
Maybe.
good.
Never plan that shit though.
No, I don't.
That's real.
Never.
Damn, that's depressing. All right. I guess that's a no.
It might happen.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week.
For the 69.